This dude here always talking.
Baseline.
Let's go.
Micromanaging Michael over there, man.
Hey man, that's what you gotta do sometimes, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, whatever floats your boat, brother. Whatever floats your boat.
Man, we here, man. That's all that matters. That's all that matters is the porch. Now that I go. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
The original, baby. We back.
Be back, and this is episode 122, and we calling this one therapy. 'Cause some of y'all need it. Some of y'all need it. Go ahead, Pete. Talk to him right quick.
Hey, man, like you said, man, and welcome to episode 122, man, and just glad to be here. Like we talk about therapy, that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. Therapy come in many different forms, man. Therapy come in many different forms, and I think that we need to have a discussion about, removing the stigma, right? Like eat, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? But removing the stigma that I think in our community that, therapy is a signal for, your life being in shambles or things being wrong or things being out of control. And I just want to kind of touch on, first off, there's many different forms of it. So
Right.
that's why I believe we are. I think it's a lot of different forms of therapy. And I just wanted to have a discussion with you tonight, bro, about, some of the different forms, number one. Some of the stigma that comes along with the unknown.
Hey, cuz.
Peace,
Hey,
cuz.
cousin Tracy. Yep.
The unknown, and some of the benefits that if you just kind of let your guard down and understand where it's coming from, you'd be surprised how many things that it could change for you.
Right.
So anyway, that's where we going, man. That's where we going. But before we kick things off with that, y'all know how we like to do, man. We like to start it off by finding out just how each other's doing, man. Kind of funny. We're talking about therapy and we're just checking on each other. How's your week going so far, bro?
Week's good. Week's good. Been at work. You know what I mean? Had a great, well, it's crazy. When I say week, I always start from the top of this week, but, they ain't seen it since Tuesday.
Right.
So,
right.
You know what I mean? The last week, the way all that went
Yeah.
was pretty good. You know what I mean? Had a very exciting weekend. You know what I mean? I'll put it to you like that. Friday we was together. You know what I mean? Shout out to my nephew Jay. He done turned 16. Clap it up for him. Clap it up for him.
Absolutely, nephew, big 16, man. Great party, brother.
Right.
He knows it. Nephew, know how to throw it.
Intro was off the hook too.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
man. Oh,
You know what I
man,
mean?
You know
what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you.
I can't imagine what 18 gonna look like.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, nephew. Splitting image of your pop, man. He y'all got some of the same styles that he had, because of course you ain't know your dad at 16. I knew your dad when he was 16,
Right.
and that's
Please listen to
something.
my demo, man.
That's something he would have did. You was coming. You sounded just like your pop, man.
Yeah, you got him
Just
beat
like
though.
your
You
pop.
stayed on that dance floor at night. You
all
man.
night. Yeah.
He the wallflower with it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you definitely got it beat in that department. But yeah, I remember that great time on Friday, man.
Great
Rained all
time.
weekend.
Rained
My
all week. Yeah.
God.
So let me tell you, as you know, because I was on the phone with you and you was on my way back, and my brakes started going to the floor. Remember?
Right.
But I ain't let that bother me. Next day,
That's good.
Next day had another beautiful event. I did a baby shower. That turned into a proposal. You know what I mean? Let's clap it up for that.
Oh.
I ain't mean to hit the live button. I meant to clap it. Yeah. Yep. So the baby shower, had fun. I had to set the tone and the vibe. You know what I mean? And
Right.
once everything was good, it was good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Justin and Ariana. They're now engaged. You can clap it up. I can say their names.
I'm about to say shout their names out, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
so
the brother and the sister,
and it was nice how he did it. He played charades. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay,
So they put the thing in front of her head, and the crowd had to make her think. Guess. So it started off with feeding the baby, burping the baby, and then the third would say, "Will you marry me?" And all her friends was like doing the hand with the ring, and then she turned around, and he was on the floor with the ring. Ain't even say nothing. He just had it. Yeah, clap it up for them. That's black love.
That was kind of dope. That was dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yep.
Ah, man. I don't know if that was an original thought, my brother,
Yeah.
or what it was, but I wish I could have saw that, man. Ain't nothing like it, man.
Yeah, so
Ain't
listen.
nothing like it.
Then I get home, I just passed out because I was running. But then the next day, this was the highlight of my weekend, man. Oldest kid, man.
Come
on, you know what I mean? We was up at, I don't know what day they called it, but we had to go. You know, I couldn't tell everybody what I was doing Sunday, because I had already knew, because, they have decision day, which was yesterday, what I mean, Monday. But we had to go visit her new school, Keene University. Let's clap it up for them.
Outstanding.
And I was walking that campus in the rain, right? In the rain, I was walking that campus. And I said to myself, man, I wish I'd have went to college.
I do that every time, man. I do that every time.
Your face, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that I'm like you.
I'm going to ask you this live on air, though. Mom and Dad, just keep it at 100, right?
Please.
They pushed us to further our studies.
Okay.
But didn't push us really to necessarily go to a 4-year. But they weren't against it.
Right.
They weren't against it. Because I remember when they allowed you to go to Caldwell.
Right. Right.
I never even thought about, I ain't even visit. Remember, I ain't going no college tours, no nothing. I was getting good grades and everything. I just was. Yeah. I said I was going to go to trade school and get money. That's all I was saying. I remember. Yeah. That's what I used to say a lot. But I wish I'd have went to a school, man.
Yeah, I think that I think the same feeling.
I blame you a little bit though. I blame you a little bit. Clap it up though. Positive. No, it's a positive blame why I was like that.
Okay, well, you got to explain it before I start clapping. I'm not.
Well, no, I clapped it up. No, because of you. Okay. You had me at the homecoming, because of my sister-in-law, and I was at the homecomings, and I'm like, I could just go to the homecomings. What I got to go to college for?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know exactly what you mean. I was
so. That's what kind of. I say I could have went to trade school because I like to have bread. But, and then remember, brother, it was crazy. It was super crazy because I was running until, we used to hang out. As we continued to go, we was hanging out with a lot of old heads. But that was, they like, yeah, man, I graduated, such and such, yeah. Yeah, what you do? I ain't even working what I went to school for. I'm a fireman, man. You know what I mean? So you started saying to yourself like.
Right.
But I'm not against higher education. You know what I mean?
No. All you saying is when you went with me and you seen it, you was like, yo, I should have tried it.
I should have tried
it. I should have tried it. Yeah. Yep. Now I get the same thing, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, the weekend before, when I was telling you about being in that wedding, seeing all that Greek love, man, in there, from all those different sororities and fraternities.
Right.
Me and you ain't mentioned a book yet. We talked about the Greek element, and we talked about what's the other thing you just said?
The homecoming.
And the homecoming.
But you know what?
About one class yet.
But like cousin Tracy saying in the comments right now. First of all, shout out cousin Maurice. What's up, cuz? So
Reese, what's up, baby?
So cousin Tracy said, me too, but our family has been very successful in having our own business, which is very true. God has another plan, and we are doing well. I had my business now for 12 years. Right. That's just me as a DJ. I had my business for a long time as well, too, cuz. And you just look at it like I don't have them student loans. I still had student loans, though, because I did, rack up some student loans and the wrong type of stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, Sade. Hey, appreciate the hearts. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight?
Try to keep it together, E.
Stand up.
Try to keep it. Fight it, man. Please fight it a little bit.
Man. Let me know. Let me know.
You don't even try to fight it. The older you get, you don't even try to fight it, man. You just be like, I'm telling you, now we used to watch the older people. Used to be like, man, Onk don't care. Like you turning into Onk don't care, man.
Hey, man, it was about time, man. If you think of people like Uncle Elwin, when he was the age that I am right now.
Okay.
Unc don't care how you cracking up all the time. Now
Yeah. That's E now, man.
he always went to work. I talked to
Mm-hmm.
Unc. I talked to Unc today. Shout out to Uncle L. I love all my aunts, but shout out to
Yeah.
I talked to him earlier. You know
Okay.
what I mean? He said, hey.
Absolutely.
He said just like Pop. Hey, Eric, what's up? You know what I mean? I hollered at him when I hollered
I
at.
see what's going on. I see exactly what's happening. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
I
hollered
see
at him,
exactly.
and next thing you know, we was in
Yeah.
a conversation like we were just together yesterday. But that's how it is.
So
Yeah,
so I agree. So my week, like you said, I like that. That's a good
yeah,
point. By the time we talk to them again, it's always the following Tuesday. So we
right,
always say how your week going, but in essence, by the time we shoot this, we only about 2 days deep into the week.
right,
Um, Now great, like you said, other than the fact that I felt like I needed a boat all weekend,
right,
just because of how much rain was falling. Um, it was cool. It was cool. You know what I mean? Caught up on some shows and all that kind of stuff. Definitely checked out some more playoff basketball since why I got that on the brain. Shout out to Joel Embiid, man, and my mighty 76ers, man, for winning his first MVP. Well deserved, man. I'm just glad the brother was able to do it. Now, what would make it fantastic? He's going to get a chip.
yes, sir.
Don't get a chip, so we gotta get him healthy. But for the most part, for the weekend, man, you know what I mean. Like I said, it was wet, so I tried to, minimize how much moving around I was doing outside. I got I caught up on some shows, kicked back, and didn't have a problem with that, and it was fun. But like I said, moving on to what we're talking about this week, man, dealing with
Right,
the concept of therapy.
right,
I feel like we definitely need to address the benefit, right? And I think that the reason why I want to start there is because I think that a lot of people believe in a lot of people, like you said before, you got people that respond and people that react.
right,
So when I think about therapy, right, I think about it from the perspective of, first and foremost, y'all know I always give y'all the definition. Basically, the definition for the word therapy is the act of caring for someone or the method of caring, right? That's all therapy is. It's the act of caring for someone or the method of caring, which is why you got PT, physical therapy, you know what I mean? You got OT, occupational therapy. You got all of these different things. Most of those things, if you ever notice, there are posts, right? They're after something has happened, after an injury has occurred,
right.
after something has taken place, and now it needs some kind of healing and some kind of exercises to make it get better. Well, I wanted to kind of talk to y'all about it this week in the sense of proactive therapy, right?
Mm-hmm. I like where
Understanding the
this is going.
value and the benefit of what therapy is actually for. It's for, once again, it's to care for someone with a method of caring. So if I care for you, I shouldn't have to wait for things to be in the negative or things to be in a struggle or be in a bad position,
Mm-hmm.
right? To be able to introduce you to something that can make things even better. That's why I say all the
Absolutely.
time, you don't got to be doing bad. You don't got to be doing bad to do better. You can be doing good and do great. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of those kind of things. But
Yeah,
what's
it'd
your
be.
take on that, bro? How you
I
feel about that?
first of all, I need you to silence that chime in the back.
I am trying to.
You getting text messages or that's my phone? Let me see. It was mine. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. Great episode, therapy, man.
So
Great
listen,
episode, man.
I love what you said because what you were talking about right there, you were just talking about any form of therapy to the actual anatomy to the body, right?
Absolutely.
You never labeled them, but I'm gonna label it, right? And it's just to prove a point that I'm saying. I'm gonna go mental therapy, right? Why is it most of the time we are supposed to have what you call, and I get it, a primary doctor? You know what I mean? You should have a dentist. You know what I mean? Because you ever notice how hey Zipporah, you ever notice how a dentist, you're not recommended to the dentist from your primary most of the time? It's probably like word of mouth or something like that. So I just feel like if we got to take care of our teeth, you know what I mean, you get recommended to go to a cardiologist. As long as that heart pumping, you know what I mean, you don't go just get it checked all the time unless something you
Right.
have an issue. That's
Right.
always post, right? Like you just said.
Right. I agree. Yep.
That's always
Yep.
post. All right. Now, when you sit back and you think about, again, if you injure your groin or anything of that nature, you're
Right.
going, you got physical therapy. You
Yeah,
know
you
what I
got
mean?
PT. That's right. Yep.
Right.
PT. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So now,
Yep.
PT also stands for physical training.
That's
because
right.
that's preparing you before. So
Absolutely.
my question is this: is why we don't have a mental therapist that has to be primary on our insurance? Like some people, if it's made more normal, like more people go get their teeth checked because they know they have
Mhm.
that dental benefit.
Correct. 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 Correct.
People go to the primary doctor to get a physical. And then
Right.
if a person never teaches you about referrals and things of that nature, you wouldn't even ask to see a specialist of any sort. You
Right.
would just go to your primary all the time because this
Right.
stuff has to be taught. But if you have a mental therapist
Right.
just that you have all the time,
Right.
like people will go and get therapy for their brain, for their minds
Absolutely. Absolutely.
more often.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because we deal with reactionary things, right? So, like
Right.
you said before, so like when you go to your primary doctor and you say that your shoulder hurts,
Right.
sometimes they'll wait and they'll say, "Well, now you need to go see an orthopedic specialist."
Mm-hmm.
Now you wouldn't know to just blindly look into a book and say, "I need an orthopedic specialist," because you don't know that that is attached to that,
Right.
right? So you go to
Now,
the primary, right?
now hold up. Now orthopedic is foot, right?
Yeah, you can go to orthopedics for different things. Orthopedics
Okay.
could be, like I said, like I had to go to deal with that with different things, my shoulder and all that type of stuff. But orthopedics is also referred to as dealing with like shoes and all that. You got to wear them orthopedic shoes and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
So yeah, so what I mean by that is like you touched on something dealing with the physical, right?
Right.
Like a physical. You got some people who
It's
are
called that's why it's called a physical, yeah.
exactly, they're religious, like in terms of making sure that they go and get their physical, every supposedly whenever they're supposed to get it. They can get an annual one, you know, all those different things. Those kind of people, right, tend to be people who kind of look at those things from a proactive perspective, right? I'm going there not because I have a problem. I'm going there to make sure I don't have a problem,
Right.
right? And I kind of look at therapy sometimes as the same thing. Like we talked about it, kind of had a discussion earlier about the brother Henry Ruggs that was
Mm-hmm.
playing for the Raiders. One of the brothers in our group text made a statement. It's a shame because he had no guidance.
Right.
Well, I look at therapy once again. The definition of it is the act of caring for someone or a method of caring. If I care for you, right, and I give you some
I
guidance,
will die for
it's like
you.
therapy in the sense of trying to actually prepare you for different things that you may encounter or different things you may run into.
Yeah.
Right? So you got
Yeah.
to look at therapy from a different perspective. We don't look at it that way because most of the time when we hear about it, it's in post. It's after something has transpired,
Mm-hmm.
after we have went through a hardship, after we've went through injury, after you understand what I'm saying? It's those kind of situations. So I believe part of the benefits of understanding what therapy is first and foremost, if you understand it, I think you can implement it in your life differently.
Right.
And there's some other things that you can do as well. We talk about, meditation. We talk about all these things. There's a form of therapy that you can do as far as self-care,
Right.
making sure that you take the time to be able to put yourself in a position where you can,
Right.
listen to some quiet music, go for a walk,
Mm-hmm.
do some other things, maybe quietly read. Those are all forms of therapy. It's just self-care. Go ahead, bro.
And it's funny that you say when you say go for a walk because I
Right.
think that's more relaxing in multiple ways. You know how like they tell you the most effective exercises be swimming and jogging and cycling, right? You ever hear
Absolutely.
those things like those?
Absolutely.
So it's funny because it does more than just physically get you in shape. It takes a certain part of mental, like a part of your mental to actually work, and that gets stronger as well. So, like you just said, therapy is caring for. What you say? How you said it? It's
The definition is the act of caring for someone or the method of caring.
right. The method of caring. Once you start caring about your physical, then everything else seems to fall in line. That's why
Right.
I say whether it's your mental, what I mean. That's why exercise helps with stress.
Absolutely.
I can't remember the guy's podcast. I watch a lot of podcasts just like you do,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
a lot of times I watch, um, health and wellness ones. And
Okay.
somebody made the statement: if you were able to put exercise in a pill,
Oh, okay.
you'll be easily be the richest person in the world.
Wow.
So if you got the, like if you could take a pill and it gives you the reaction that you just did a full full workout. You know how when you
Right.
working, once you start going to the gym, bro, and you or
Yes.
any
Yes, you
form
can
and
feel
you
it afterwards. That's
right
right.
and you start. It's like you're in a euphoria, like me and Chris will say. But it feels good to you because you soak into it now. Because
Absolutely.
that's a mental thing. Like the first
Absolutely.
exercise, when you come work out the first exercise, you be tired. You be tired as hell. Like, man, I ain't doing. Why am I beating my body like this? But let's say
Right.
after like 10, 12 days in the gym, you go
Right.
into this euphoria like, oh man, I love this feeling. It's because your
Yeah,
mental changed and how it see it, the
that's
perception
right.
of it.
I agree.
Beginning, you looked at
Absolutely.
it as hurt. So
Yeah.
my thing is this: besides the fact that there's exercising and things of that nature,
Mhm.
why aren't they recommending more of this type of therapy? I mean, I'm not saying
Great
that they
question.
don't.
That's a great question.
I'm
Answer
not
that in the
saying
comments too, y'all. Y'all can leave y'all responses. Would y'all believe if it's a particular reason why? And please share this, man. Share this so we can get have more people notice it. Take me, hit,
right.
check it out. But yeah, that's a great question. I'm gonna type that in there. What was your question again? I'm gonna type it in the thing.
It's
Why do you
crazy.
think it's?
It's crazy because I forgot what I just said that fast.
I think you said why isn't it recommended
Why isn't it
or why?
recommend? It's basically it was more to it though. Why isn't that recommended more than like fast food or you eating? If you look on the commercial, you see more eating commercials than gym commercials.
Hmm.
So why is it? Why isn't right? Why isn't it positive? I guess the question would be, why isn't physical therapy? I can't think about it, bro. But why is exercise? Just why is exercise not
I got one.
promoted more than
I'm
food?
typing it in there. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you got
I
one.
got
Yeah,
it.
you
Yep.
just you
Yep.
just needed the basis of it.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
Yeah. So that's basically what I'm putting in here, y'all. Why isn't it recommended as more of a preventative type of situation, um, as opposed to always hearing about it after things appear to be
Well, yeah, I wasn't
in
saying it that
duress.
way, but it makes more
But
sense that way.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Why isn't it
because
as often as a
that was the original
preventative
question.
measure?
Why is it? If you think about it, with the show, that was the original question. Why is it? Why wasn't it pre instead of post? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
See,
Exactly.
think of you could use because you know my love for sports. I always compare things to sports a lot. So when you come, you got the pre-game warm up, the
Mm-hmm.
game, and the post-game interviews. That's on the field things, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like out in, on TV, you got the pre-game show, the
That's
game,
right.
and the after show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that formula, what you just said, is always going to breed success. Again, if enough people are on the positive side, too many people. Why would you need as many doctors? See, doctors are not just there to treat you and care for you. They're also
Mm-hmm.
there to. They're supposed to educate you.
Absolutely.
That's why they always say get a second opinion.
Yeah. 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 And then anything that I tell people all the time, you always got to remember that the era the human era is always into anything when you hear the title or you hear somebody make a statement, this person practices medicine and this
Right.
person practices law. The
Right.
reason why they're using practice is in the sense that, in my opinion, that if something doesn't go a particular type of way, it's not that I'm practicing like I'm trying out or anything like that, but it's the practice of something.
Yeah.
Like medicine is the practice of medicine. That's why you get more people, get a second opinion.
Right.
That's why you get law teams. That's why you understand what I'm saying?
You had a
So
shot today.
yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, well you hitting on it. You hitting on it. You
Oh,
hitting
okay.
on it good.
All
Like you had a shot today,
You
bro.
said it.
Like
Yeah, I got
you
it.
know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this just leave that. I ain't even gonna, hey, what I was getting ready to say though, before we get too much deeper into this episode, I want to make sure that you guys know that in the event that you are looking for a one-stop shop, event planning company that can take care of all of your event planning needs, AE, let them know who they can use.
Yes, sir.
Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. Make sure to check out their Facebook and Instagram pages at FNC Events. Head on over today and get that party booked. Back to the show. Absolutely. F&C event. Yeah, man. So that's the question, y'all. You know what I mean? Please check it out. Leave it, like I said, in the comments. You know what I mean? Why isn't, therapy recommended in the pre more often than in the post? And I think that when you understand it, when you answer that question, it's going to require you to think about what therapy actually means to you. And I think that once you take the stigma off of it, if you have one, everyone doesn't have one, but if you do have a stigma on it and you realize that therapy is merely just the act of caring for someone with a method of caring, then I think that you can see the benefit before it's an issue, right?
Right.
And that's just. I mean, like, I just really think that if we did that, there would be a lot of things that we could avoid, or we can just handle them so much better. You
Right.
know what I mean? And it just really kind of puzzled me. And I'm like you, yeah, I didn't even think to the depths that you just said about, like, okay, you go to a doctor and they recommending, you know, a brain, specialist to deal with anything that you got going, a neurologist, you know what I mean? Somebody dealing with that. Or if you got
Mm-hmm.
to deal with a dentist, like you said, a dentist, or if you got to deal with, the next, what they call specialists or whatever. Nothing against none of that, but they never present that. At least I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the reason why they don't is because the stigma actually exists there as well.
Right.
Where they're very careful in recommending that because they trying to think from the perspective of I really don't have any kind of, license to be able to tell you that I think you need to see a therapist. So even sometimes I think in the medical community, I think that they're very careful on how they present that because of the fact that they don't want to
You know
scare
what?
patients off.
You know what? They have to. You're right, but when they do it, they have to. They don't have. They don't recommend. They don't recommend. I recommend you see like you see on a movie. Now that
Mm-hmm.
they think about it, they ask you, "Would you like to see somebody else?"
Yeah,
That's what they did. That's what they did to me.
I've never even had that.
No,
But I think
but
there's things that lead to them even
exactly. I could tell
offering
you.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't mind telling it. I don't mind speaking it because I feel like everybody should go to therapy and
Okay.
actually talk and do all that type of stuff. I'm all for that. But what happened with me is my pressure and everything was up, and he asked me. I said, I've been grieving. You know what I mean? And because mom had passed, and I was like, and I also, it's like I'm under a lot of stress at work. He
Mm.
was like, yeah. He said, I never seen your numbers like this. That's why I asked. You know what I mean? He said, what's the stress at work? What's going on? I was like, it's just different things. They annoying me a lot because of this, blah, 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 blah. And then he turned around. You think you want to see somebody? They don't just recommend it. So I think what you just said, the first part of it, the pre part of it, is I don't think they're legally supposed to do that. That's what it sounds like. But
Mm.
if they pose the question, now that's you, and they're asking for that invite to come into that part of your life,
Got you.
that part of you understand what I'm saying, and then you
Yeah.
say yeah, and once you start to speak on it, now he can make a recommendation or ask the question, do you want to see somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Not,
Mm-hmm.
I think you should see somebody, because
Right.
that would be them leading.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
get
you
it.
on to something with that.
I get it. I think that, and I want to just say, yeah, right here, practice. I hear you, cuz practice. Just using that terminology when I was saying practice in medicine and practice in law, never ending knowledge. That means that you're still in the practice of learning. You're absolutely right, because both those things, laws change all the time and different medical situations change all the time. So that's another great way to look at it. They do have to consistently keep on being students of both those things. So that's why they're always in practice. And Miss Brown even responded to that. Money, therapy doesn't make money. You being healthy doesn't make money. Surgeries, medicines, hospitalizations all make money. You're absolutely right. It
Mm-hmm.
is a business. It is a business. And I do
Boom,
think that
boom, boom,
part
boom,
of the
boom,
stigma.
boom,
Okay,
boom, boom,
right here.
boom, boom.
Let him have it, yo. Watch out.
Money, money, money,
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
money.
Well, people ask me a lot of times when I see them, did E fall down a lot as a kid? Did somebody drop him or something? Like, and the answer is no. Now everybody handled E very delicately. It just was, it was just something that happened one day. You know what I mean? But like he told y'all, man, he's an open book. He's working his way through it. Nah, but I agree with you. I think that Ms. Brown, once again, there is a element of money that is incorporated with the situation. But what I want to focus on more than that is it's the stigma. Okay, let's take it out of the doctor's offices, right?
Right.
Let's just take it in our communities. Let's just take it in our households, right?
Right.
How often is it that we can have a conversation with our family members about therapy and it not be looked at as taboo?
Right.
It's certain things. This is what I'm saying. Like, we don't understand the definition of some of the words, and when we're introduced to certain terminology, we
Right.
take that and then it becomes, either I'm gonna put it in the category of things that I'm comfortable talking about or
Right.
not.
Right.
And I think we miss the benefit of a lot of things, not just that, but just a lot of things in general, because we're so bent on like, I don't want to be, uncomfortable one way or another. You can be uncomfortable with life, but I'd rather keep that than to actually go and see somebody, right?
Right.
Or on the flip side of that situation, remember we talking about pre. So even in that situation, that still would be a conversation about going, and that would be post.
Right.
Pre, right? I don't know how many people, have, on this live, or how many therapists that you just know on a personal basis that you just talk to generally. Has nothing to do with you going to see them professionally or anything. How many people do you know that practice, that now I ain't gonna say practice, that are therapists that you just know on a friend basis, like a personal? How many of them do you know?
About two, maybe.
Okay, and when you talk to them, right? Because I know you've had conversations. Do you ever feel like you have to talk differently because they're therapists?
Nah. Nah. Not me.
So the reason why I say that is because
I know where
you
you're going with it.
okay. So because that is a normal thing for you guys just to have your conversations,
Right.
why is the stigma so strong that you can't just go to those things, go to those people and just talk to them when there is no issues?
Right.
You know how much stronger you could be if you went and had something done or spoke to someone before there was a problem.
Right. Nah,
When
bro.
it is
Right.
no problem present, and it's like having money and going to invest into other things that make you money before you get to the point where you ain't got no money. And now you got to go find somebody to save you because you in debt or you're in a bad position.
Right.
That's why you got financial advisors. These people are advising you. I want to advise you while you got money. When you ain't got money, we know what you need.
I don't want.
When you
Yeah.
got money, it's different.
Yeah. When you don't got money, I don't want to show you how to get it.
Right.
That's something you gotta figure out for yourself, man. You know how
Yeah.
many.
Peace.
You know.
What's going on? What's going on, my brother? What's going on? The hood chef. I'm a therapist. Oh, wait, brother. It's always love, man. I enjoy our conversations, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead, E. My bad, bro.
Yeah, nah. I'm my man. I'm just listening
Okay.
to what you were
Well, I
saying. You
want
know
to
what I
see
mean?
what Miss Brown. Miss Brown is dropping some nice stuff in here today. She said it seems stigmas are never removed, but generational. Okay. Since we were always told to keep it quiet. That's right. I think therapy definitely helps and is needed. And she's absolutely right. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Miss Brown, because of the fact that it is a stigma, right? And it is generational.
Right.
It's generational.
But you know what's crazy? Me and Miss Brown, we both therapists. We therapists too. See, I'll tell you a story how I met Miss Brown. She's a singer. Let's clap it up for that. She's a singer,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Down in the DMV.
I
You
ain't
know what I
mad
mean?
at that. I ain't mad at that.
And I became a comedian that night. That was probably
Okay.
my second time doing stand up. And dude, what's the Simbas? What's this called? the little box bang thing they be doing, man. I can't think of what it's called right now, man. With the little bells on it. Yeah, I mean,
Cowbell. The cowbell.
not the cowbell, not the cow, the little they be having them in church. The tambourine. The tambourine. That's what it's called, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tambourine. Yeah. That exists. Yes.
The
yes,
tambourine player. I got on the stage to do a comedy, and I was acting like I was playing the tambourine and everything. Yeah, and we made people laugh so hard and dance that night that we changed their life, man. That's why I said me and her are therapists.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And that isn't. Yeah, there you go, Miss Brown, the tambourine. That's
Tambourine.
right.
She remember she was
Oh yeah,
there, Pete.
yeah, absolutely. Um,
See how she laughing? She was there. She
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
night we met.
I think that we're all therapists. This is the point that we're trying to make. I think we all
Mm-hmm.
are therapists based on the definition alone.
We are.
We all practice, it's the act of taking care of caring for someone. We all care for somebody.
Right.
We all want to be able to be the person that be able to help people. We all, every last one of us,
Right.
every last one of us. So yes, and that's what I'm saying. The more that we have these conversations, the more I think that we can normalize, right,
Right.
therapy.
Right.
And I think the more normal it becomes, right, the more it will be used, the more it would be, you know what I'm saying, considered, the more it would be, you know, the stigma can be removed,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I think. Like, we do it unconsciously all the time. How many times have you said something to somebody and the person like it's just not feeling what you're saying? I don't know if it's your delivery. They don't appreciate what you're saying. Another person comes along that they have in a whole different place in their life, says the exact same thing, and they be like, yeah, that's true. And you look like their head screwed on backwards because of the fact that they accepted from this other person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the exact same thing you said,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it more about the messenger or the message in that situation? It's about the message.
Right.
It ain't about the messenger. Okay, you didn't get it. I have to realize, okay, in that particular instance, that person saying it hit home better for you. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I also come to grips with the reality that most of it is because of the fact that we look at it like it's a knock against us, like it's a weakness, like we become flawed, like we have these negative connotations about who we are as a person
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that we decide that when something is going on, we need help. Well, my solution to that is guess what? Talk to one before you got problems.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to people before. I tell people all the time, you married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you get married, certain churches require that you come to 3 counseling sessions first. They want to talk to you. They want to
Mm-hmm.
mentally prepare you for marriage. They want to tell you different things, understand this, work on that, keep this and this, that, and the third. All these different breakdowns they got.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to do. They want to prep you for what's getting ready to be. Now imagine, what if you had how many couples? Imagine if you knew a bunch of couples who wind up going through divorce or separation or different issues. What if they went to therapy before they had problems
Right.
and just tried it out?
Right.
Got an outside opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What's but it's just crazy because once again I think it's all stigma based. I think it's all because of that.
And it's the way things sometimes aren't explained and explained. For example,
I agree, Miss Lovett. Most people are scared of the word therapy. I
Absolutely.
think that's what we hitting on that tonight. Absolutely.
and I'm actually going to bounce off what she's saying. Hey, homegirl, how you been? The fact that you said, what if they went before they had problems?
Absolutely. Pre, before, post. Absolutely.
Right. Now, there we go again. So,
Yep.
anything lasts depending on its strength,
Okay, I agree.
right? I don't
Absolutely.
care what it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's physical muscle,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Right.
for you to get to a certain strength, you must prepare and work your way and exercise to get there.
Absolutely.
So that's the pre. The muscle part is the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start having an issue, it'll last longer for you because you know how to do it in the pre. It'll keep going around as a cycle. That's the thing. The number 3 again, like it comes up every show.
Every show. Trilogy. Yep.
So
Or
you
the
just said a
trilogy.
mouthful, bro, when you were just like, what if they went before?
Yeah. It can't hurt.
We've been saying that all night. Again, you got a primary doctor and you got a dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not? I'm just going to go to mental therapy, a mental therapist. Or
Mhm.
just a therapy. Listen, you got a primary doctor, you got your dentist office, and you got your therapist office, whether it's physical therapy, mental therapy. Like, all that
Yep.
should be one thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if you're going to get a physical, right, and I
Right.
think that's part of the problem as well. When you say physical, you're just talking about the anatomy. You're just talking
Yeah.
about the body. You're
Right.
not talking about the mind. So, if anybody's listening, like, do yourself some due diligence, right, and say, okay, every year I'm gonna schedule myself a physical.
Yeah.
Say you pick your birthday every year,
Right.
right, just so you can remember to always have it done at that time. Why not look into actually just getting some form of a therapist, right, and just say, look, I just want to go and see somebody.
Hmm.
I just want to go and talk to somebody. I don't have any problems right now. There's no issue. I go to the doctor to get a physical, not because I want to go there and hear something's wrong, but if there is, it's a lot of preventative things that can take place, and I'll be good,
Hmm.
right? Lisa Nichols. I don't know if you know who Lisa Nichols is. You know what I mean? Motivational speaker, book writer, author, all those things. She talks about something called the understanding muscle. And the
Okay.
understanding muscle is in reference to, just what it says, understanding that people, right, are going to be who they are. They're going to move the way that they move. But the more that you understand yourself, the more that you understand how much power and control that you have, like you talked about before, bruh, in regards to reacting versus responding,
Right.
the better that you can be, right?
Hmm.
Well, great person or great, a specialist that you can speak to in regard to that is a therapist. And you got to understand, but just imagine, I can imagine, right? If you go see a therapist and they say, hey, how you doing? Mr. Rainey, what brings you in today? Just wanted to talk, man.
Hey man, I just want to know if you seen the Bulls win the other day.
Or just and I know there's some people that's going to see odd because they're going to say, well, therapy is expensive. Yeah, most things in life that have value or can
Yeah,
make things better
cost you a little
gonna
something.
cost you something.
A lot of
It's
insurances have good. It's in your program.
right. You know what I mean? It's in your network. They got them. You got to look in there and see what's going on. But once again, remember the objective in life is to be as prepared for it as possible. It's problems generally come to those who sit there and expect them to come.
Right.
Right?
Hmm.
And never put anything in play to be able to kind of have a little bit of I don't know, a game plan for it. You can't plan for everything,
Mm-mm.
but you can't respond and just wait for everything to happen and say I'll handle it when it comes.
Hmm.
That's just the way I see it, man. And I know that a lot of the other reasons why with therapy it's a little bit different too is because people work on something on the hope system, right, bro? Hope, HOPE. You know what I mean? They just work on it. They hope it works out, and hope it all comes together. They don't want to put a bunch of work into it or even look at somebody else could possibly help them. And I always look at it, man. For me, I break everything down in case y'all don't know into an acronym. You know, for me, hope is having, me, optimistic, prosperous expectations. That's what hope is. Having optimistic, prosperous expectations. And you all right? Told y'all, man. Ego through it, man. Yo, you all right? Go on. You're welcome.
Nah,
So
nah.
that's what it is,
I
man.
was about to do me a whole new joint, and it was going. I was about to say, "Hope that that ain't your acronyms, man."
So part of what's going on in that situation, man, is that people forget
No,
hope
no,
alone is not enough,
it's
right?
not enough.
Just like
My question
go
was,
ahead,
I was about to ask you a question. I'm sorry to
go
cut you,
ahead.
Mister, but
Nah, go ahead, bro.
you got a fire extinguisher at your house?
Yeah,
Okay, good. You know, a lot
yeah,
of people don't. Though.
okay.
Some people want to, once the fire's going on, they want to run up the street if they could to get an extinguisher. You know what I mean? So, sir, so what I'm saying is this. So what I'm saying is this. It's the whole pre. You want to
Right,
be
right.
prepared for a fire, right? So if you
Yeah, absolutely.
right. So if you meditate, you practice, but then when you hit a different type of fire, you might be going through a firestorm, like in a form of depression in your life.
Yeah,
Now you want to go to therapy? No, you want to go before. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I'm saying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah. Nah. I'm looking at cuz he was getting ready to come up with his own acronym. I can only imagine. Yeah, I know. Yes, Miss Brown. Yes, he is. He gone. Something wrong with him. Get your homie together.
hey,
Nah, but
hey,
no. But I agree
hey,
with what you're saying. I think most of the time, like I said, man, we are, first off, like Miss Brown said earlier in the episode, generational. I think that there's certain things that we have to break, and we can change, how we view therapy by understanding it better and seeing the benefit from it. Because once it goes from, in my opinion, you can benefit from going to see it in post, but it is so much more beneficiary in the pre. To me, you benefit from things so much more when you learn the techniques, right? Implement them into your life before it becomes a problem.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you with the whole fire extinguisher thing. It's probably in your best interest to have one there in the event that there's a fire.
My point
You
is
know,
this.
but yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go
They
ahead.
say most babies people know how to swim when you put your baby in the pool, right? When they don't know to even be afraid, right? Of drowning. Like, they
Okay.
say when you put your baby
Absolutely.
in the pool, that's how you can teach them how to swim, right? So when you get into a crazy spot in your life sometimes, they say a person went out into the deep end
Right.
or they was drowning.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Stuff
I
like
get it.
that.
I get it. Yep.
But if you learn how to swim before these things, you'll be smart enough to swim away from it instead of continuously going in the deep end.
Absolutely.
This is why a lot of people in life go in debt because
Hmm.
nobody teaches them how to manage credit before they start teaching them how to do it to get out of it once they're in the hole deep enough.
Right.
But it should be credit classes on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's like you said, like you've been saying, this whole pre-therapy,
That's what I'm saying.
pre-education. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah. Because therapy has been viewed as, I'm telling you, therapy's been viewed as medication. And most people take medications once something else is off and they need to have something that helps with it.
right,
But you'll take a vitamin to help boost things, right?
right,
So we got to get therapy out of the medication mindset and we got to get it into the vitamin mindset.
right. So I
That's
want,
all.
I want to. Ms. Brown has said, do you think therapy starts as a child with your parents, your thoughts? And I say absolutely yes. Um, yes, but
Okay. Hmm. Go ahead. I'll let you answer. Then I want to answer that too.
no problem. Um, but in what direction does it go? See what I'm saying? Because
Right.
your parent can try to teach you to be better than them, or they can never say nothing, and you could take just your own wisdom, and say, I don't want to be that. I know I don't want to be that, so I'm gonna go be this. You know what I
Right.
mean?
True.
So we learn from actions. Basically, is what we've been saying the whole show. Like we're preparing. So in life, therapy does start with parents because they're preparing us for everything in life.
Yeah.
Whether they mean to show it or not, it's because they instantly have an influence on us,
Right.
especially mothers. Because we was in our when you was doing prenatal care,
See
we
what
were
I'm saying?
living with you the whole time.
Come on, man. Yeah. They say the baby can feel what you feel, think what you think,
Right.
all those different things. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So yes, therapy, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So yeah, just based off the definition once again alone, the act of caring for someone or the method of caring.
Right.
Yes, they're the first caregivers you're gonna have. They're gonna first be the first people who are gonna care for you.
Right.
Um, I think that they don't always know it's therapy though.
Mm-mm.
I think sometimes it's a what do they call it, a nature,
Right.
right? It's a nature thing, and I don't
And
know if
then
it's necessary.
it may not necessarily be human nature, but they'll still label it. If they want to label it that, then it will be that.
Well, nah, but yeah, even in human nature, it is because
Right.
here's the thing: it's a nature for them at that point. The parental guidance thing, you know, how you talk all the time, parental guidance. You
Hmm.
know, parents are there to try to help guide you into certain situations. Therapy is a different thing to some degree because when you're actually telling a person or you're talking to a person about caring for them, you have to understand who they are
Right.
so you can help that situation or even kind of put them in the best positions possible by
Right.
you, caring for them. I think that, like when he said about the whole situation, that most of us parents always make the statement that we want our children to be better than us, right? Or
Right.
have better, if not to be better, at the very least have better.
Right.
And my thing is this: are you prepared for them to be better, right?
Absolutely.
Because if I don't know any better than myself, and I want my children to be better than me, how do I guide them into their better than me direction? How do I do that, right? And most of it is going to be by examples. As parents, most of what we do is examples. And the first thing that we do is we look back to cliches and say things like "do as I say" and what, not as I what
Do.
do. So, like, yeah, I think that we do, introduce them to the therapy element of it. But I think it's only to the limitation to which we have and the capacity that we have. And sometimes they need therapy to undo what we do in the initial anyway. So you can, or I think we do, but it can be a little funny. You
But
know what I mean?
here's another thing too that, of course, is a form of therapy early, and we don't even notice it. And I'm gonna say it is religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, basic ten, not the whole 10 Commandments. I don't know the orders, but we all know that thou shalt not kill. You know what I mean? We also know that thou shalt not um, commit adultery. Things like that. Oh, thou shalt not lust, whatever stuff, things of that nature. So, basically, what I'm saying is this: with some people, that can confuse them, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
if you're married as a man, you should love for your wife and lust for your wife at the same time. Now, they tell you thou shalt not lust, but at that time it's legal, correct? Because I'm lusting for who I'm supposed to in that
Okay.
form. Or when they say thou shalt not kill, it doesn't say thou shalt not kill humans. It says kill. So if you kill a human, that's wrong. But if you kill an animal, that's all right because it's supposed to be food, right? Because it
Right.
doesn't separate. However, if you're home and you're protecting your home and your family, and you happen to kill the person in your house, 9 times out of 10,
Yo,
I'm laughing at your face.
yeah, 'cause I'm
Listen,
like, yeah, right?
that makes it legal, right? If you, bruh, if you got, listen to me. Stop making faces at me, yo. Pick it up, man.
All
Listen,
right, go
man.
ahead. I'm listening.
Basically, what I'm saying to you is wording is what also, how it's perceived. So even with religion, the way it's being taught to you and who's teaching it to you, they're only going to teach you their perception of it. Nobody actually knows exactly what it meant to a certain extent. You understand what I'm saying? And that could
Absolutely.
play with a person's psyche, and that's what make people not necessarily want to follow the right way because some people just want to be defiant and break the rules.
Right.
But you get what I'm saying? But if it's not taught to you
I
as a
got it
rule,
now. I ain't
and
gonna lie. There was a moment there. I mean, and you kill them in the house, and it's all right. You like, wait, what? Like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. One thing about you, E. One thing about you, man, is you might go to the corner store and you might go around the other way, but you gonna make it to the store. Like, you gonna make it to the store. Nah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. My
we do
man.
we
Let's. I was
doing
getting ready to say, man, we gotta get it to. We gotta
yeah.
snap you out of this, brother, and get you into
Which one
another
we doing?
flow.
Huh?
We're gonna do would you rather, bro. Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Wow, this guy today, man.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather with me and P. I can't stop laughing, man. This dude
It's all right.
here, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, like he said, welcome to another week of Would You Rather, where I ask E a series of questions, and I get an answer. I'm almost scared tonight. Almost. Yes, yeah, he came back and made it all make sense. All righty, would you rather focus on improving your physical health or improving your mental health? Great question to start it off for tonight.
Um, I'm gonna say physical because I think like a lot of
Leave
people
your
have,
answers in the comments too, y'all. Physical and mental health.
and
Focus on improving.
and I'm gonna go around the corner with this real quick because
Go
I
ahead.
know
Go
how it
around the
goes.
block.
So
Go ahead.
all right,
Go ahead now.
so I'm gonna say physical because like we
Okay.
said earlier in the show, it's the what's the definition you have again? The
It's the
therapy.
act for therapy is the act of caring for someone or the method of caring.
The method of caring is the part that sticks out to me. Again, when
Right.
you start to take care of your physical, you mentally got to be in a great space for that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mm-hmm.
physically, because some people can build their mind up all the time, but don't want to get up still, and their health is still declining because they're just simply not really moving enough.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I
So
get it.
that's basically why when I say you start to care about your physical, you start to care about what you put in your body, how you
Right.
exercise your body, and that
Right.
all triggers something in your brain. So physical. Yep.
Okay, so you going physical. I'll answer that. I'm gonna go physical only because of the fact that, like me, and you talked about before, the whole euphoria thing. I
Yeah.
noticed that when I'm at my peak performance level, if I'm working out,
Right.
oh man, I come up with some of the best ideas and concepts. When I'm at a better when I'm if my physical isn't in order and I'm sluggish and I'm moving funny, typically my mind works the exact same way. So if I get the physical moving right, then I'm good in the mental.
Right.
Um, would you rather work on building your confidence or your resilience?
Um.
Confidence or resilience, y'all.
Me personally, I'm gonna go resilience because I'm super highly confident all
Mm-hmm.
the time. But resilience, it's correct me if I'm wrong. It's like how long you can. Well, wait a minute. Okay.
So resilience, from my understanding of it,
Right.
basically is like how you how you survive a situation. How you overcome something. You know what I mean? You were resilient in your effort. You didn't
Right.
allow it to you didn't
It knock
succumb
you
to
off
it.
your square.
Right. It didn't put you down and you stay down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you're
say
resilient.
resilience because I'm very
Okay.
confident, but I'm gonna say resilience. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you rather learn a new skill or develop a new habit? Ooh, I can't wait. Go ahead, bro.
Uh, a new
New
skill,
skill or a new habit? Okay.
because I think it's gonna become a habit anyway if you're interested enough.
Great. Ooh, wow. That was nice. All right.
Right.
He rolling. He back on track, y'all. We got him.
Hmm.
Whew. Killed him in the house. He back. All right. Oh, cool. All right. Dead. All right. So we back. All right. So you said skill. I'm going to say, since you said skill and you elaborated on that becoming a new habit, I'm going to say habit, right? And the only
Hmm.
reason I say it is because I'm a firm believer in habit stacking. I talked to you about it before. Read a couple books on the situation. Habit stacking, in my opinion, is one of the best methods to be able to minimize you doing things that can negatively impact you because you're going to develop probably more often than not positive habits. And the more of them that you develop, the less negatives you can have. But I don't think it's a bad answer either way, personally. But I'll go with habit since you did skill. Uh, okay. Would you rather develop a better work life balance or better time management? Work life balance, y'all, or better time management?
Work life balance or time. I say time management. I think I said
Okay.
that before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time
Because
management. Okay.
I mean I don't. I feel like I'm gonna always be mentally working. I always say that. I say that all the time. But if I don't have to physically go work on that, and I could be using my mental while physically doing other things that I want to do, like at Nike, I think they have meetings while playing racquetball, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Um, or like a person just having a golf meeting. They're working still. You know how many deals is done on the golf course, but they actually getting to do what they want to do. So that's why I say the time balance. I could do what you said the question was.
It was either balance, basically, like you said. I think you're answering it
Work
now.
life balance and
Work life
time
balance or better time management. Yep. And
time
I see a
management.
lot of the comments. I love it, y'all. So we got some
Yeah,
time management, some work life balances.
yeah.
Uh, Miss Lovett, I just wanted to, real quick before I get to the next question, I just wanted to address this E because she left it in the comment, just basically saying that,
Hmm.
before her daughter started nursing school, I guess she was trying to, they were trying to get her some therapy. She wanted therapy. Her doctor told her that she didn't need it based on the questions that he asked her. And he told her that her insurance wouldn't pay for it. And long story short, they changed doctors and got her into therapy. So kudos to you, mom, on that. You know what I mean?
Gotta hope
Definitely
it's more
moving
to it.
past that. It's more to it, like he said before, getting that second opinion and understanding the value of it and not putting a dollar sign on it, but putting a value on what it did for your daughter. I'm quite sure she's going to
But
benefit from it.
no, but did you see the rest of it? She said with new primary doctor, she just wanted something to talk to besides me.
Yeah.
Comes to find out she has social anxiety.
See what I'm saying? That's why I said kudos to mom. Because she
Yeah.
didn't stop at the point where they said, oh, well, the insurance won't cover it. Well, shout out to you, Miss Love. A great job. And that's what I'm talking about, y'all.
I, bro, I
Yeah.
told you I got a
Yeah. You
form of
right. You right.
anxiety.
You right. You right, Miss Brown. You absolutely right. You right. Exactly. Money. You did say it earlier. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Um, okay. Would you rather work on improving your communication skills or on improving your problem solving skills? So it's
Problems.
either your
Prob-
communication skills or problem solving.
Me personally, again, I'm gonna say problem solving because I can't stop talking. That's y'all know that's me. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna know how to talk, and I know communication skills can help, like make it sound even better. But solving a problem, if you got the answer, they
Right.
gonna love you no matter what. You
I
get
agree.
paid. You get paid off of fixing things, making
Yeah.
things easier.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. 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 I agree. If you can solve a problem, you generally stay employed and you definitely stay paid.
Right.
um, would you rather? All right. Would you rather work on developing your self esteem, which you already said what you said about confidence, or your self discipline? That's
Self
kind of
discipline.
yeah. That's kind of like yeah. I got you.
Self
Yeah.
discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm already confident. I'm just saying personally for me. But
Mm-hmm.
self discipline is saying, listen, like I said, I'm going 365, at least I'm just going to go 365 straight to myself. No fast food. And
Yeah.
again,
Proud of you, man. Yeah.
I'm already like what I said, 18, 19
18. You said
days.
you're 18, 19 days in. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Something like that. So I'm really going to go that long just to see because, bro, I've been eating it my whole life.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right. That's again. Once again, you know what I mean. Ain't nobody tell you with a PhD or, nobody, no MDs. I'm talking about. Told you need to stop doing it. You just took that upon yourself. No, I don't have to use. I don't have to eat it. That's what I'm talking about. Um. Okay. Would you rather focus on developing your creativity or your critical thinking?
Um, I think creativity because I think you automatically are going to go into some form of critical thinking to be your highest creative self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just my opinion.
All right. So you got like you said. The question I asked you was creativity or critical thinking. Um. If you're in a critical situation, the people that you want there in it, in my opinion, is the most creative people.
Right.
So,
That's
once
simple, yeah.
again, I just think that most people who are good at critical thinking are highly creative anyway.
Right.
I don't think it's a either, would you rather in that sense that, one or the other. I just think that you're going to have both. Would you rather work on developing your negotiation skills or your conflict resolution skills?
Um, Negotiation, and I'm gonna tell you why. No matter how many times you fix the problem, um, like what you said, like you said conflict. I'm saying the conflict.
Right,
I
right,
meant to say
right.
conflict. No matter how many times you fix the conflict, they're gonna keep getting into them. That's just the nature of business. But the people that get the best deals are the ones with the best negotiation skills. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
So you're
absolutely.
only getting business for deals. Like
Right.
let's just be honest, to make money. It wouldn't be business if you wasn't making money. It would
Okay.
just be something y'all did.
Yeah. Nah. I'm gonna give you this last one, y'all. We gonna close out on this one. I'll try to make it a good one. Answer this once again in the comment section. Would you rather work on improving your emotional? It's a little bit different than the first time you heard it. Emotional resilience or building your stress management skills. That's the last one.
Say it again one more time, my bad. You
Would
said I
you
know.
rather work on improving your emotional resilience or building your stress management skills?
Um, Stress management. Because again, I don't. I think I have great resilience now. Again, I'm answering these personal tonight to myself. I can't. That's why I think we see so many different answers, and that's great. That's beautiful. I love it when it's like that.
I love it.
Um, but I said stress because when you get to a certain form of stress, eventually it's going to pop. But
Right.
again, if you can manage that stress before you get to that, that's like having a fire extinguisher before fire.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Right.
stress management.
Absolutely. I'll answer that and then I'll close out on that situation. Um, just to reiterate the question in case you guys missed it, it was your emotional resilience. Which one you're gonna work on improving? Emotional resilience or building your stress management skill. I'm gonna say this because we talked about it the entire time dealing with therapy. A therapist can help you with those things, right? The value in learning how to be able to manage stress or manage. Whenever you look at management, that means that you're trying to find a way to either handle it, right? Control it as much as you possibly can. I'm going to say that if you can learn how to manage things in life, it generally works out better, period. So for me, managing something is recognizing when you need help before something consumes you. It's not always you coming up with the solution to an issue. Sometimes the solution to that issue is that you need help or you need some guidance or you need some therapy, which once again is the act of caring for someone or the method of caring.
Right.
All right. So I'm just going to answer. That was my answer on that situation. E, you can take us out of there, bro.
Alrighty. That was another episode of Would You Rather. And that was the Porch edition. Because P was also answering questions tonight. And I love it. I love it. Let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I want to thank everybody that tuned in. We did a little OT tonight, P. Little OT.
Absolutely. That's it. That's good, man. That's what happened when it's good, bro.
It's
What
up,
happened when it's
little
good.
OT, little tizzle.
Absolutely. Yep.
Uh,
But I agree with E. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in with us today, this evening. Um, Definitely appreciated all the interaction. We love it, man, when you guys, chime in and share your thoughts and your opinions about it. That's really what this is all about. That's
mhm.
what the porch is about, man. Talking, and having conversations and just building with one another. You know,
Also, um, Ms. Brown, I'm glad this was therapy for for you tonight. I wanna go ahead and clap it up for that. Um,
oh, peace. I'm
because
so glad, man. Peace, sis.
because
Peace, peace.
because like P said, that's what the porch is for. Just look
Absolutely,
at the Porch Brothers as your local therapists. That's all.
absolutely,
That's all it is.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
you can get a session each
That's
and
right.
every week
I
and
like it.
hear us on your favorite streaming podcasting sites like iHeartRadio,
Hmm.
Audible,
Absolutely.
Spotify,
Yep.
Amazon Music,
Hmm.
Apple Podcasts, Radio Public,
I like it.
Stitcher,
Hmm.
just to name a few.
Red circle.
Red Circle, our
Like he
distributor.
said, our distributor, and like he said, each and every week you can catch us live right here on Facebook, and you can also see the post recording of it. It'll be on our YouTube channel at The Porch on YouTube, The Porch Podcast. And you make sure you check us out, like you said, each and every week as well, man. We really, really appreciate you guys stopping by. This has been episode 122 Therapy, man. And, you know, I think it was a good one. I look forward to seeing y'all brothers and sisters next week, man. Y'all be good. All right, family.
Right.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Taisha. Glad you enjoyed it. We gone. Y'all have a great one.